Today's topic of discussion is artificial neural networks. Artificial neural network, it is defined as a network consisting of large number of neurons connected to each other with some weights. It is like this. These are the nodes or neurons. These are called as neurons or nodes, and they are arranged in successive layers in this manner. This is the input layer. These are hidden layers. And these are all connected. This is like a neural network. In this neural network, there is an input layer, there is a hidden layer, there is an output layer. And then nodes are connected to all the other nodes from the previous layer. There is a neuron model, which is information processing unit of artificial neural network. Neuron model is nothing but this neurons, which perform some kind of processing. And there is an architecture for a neural network. The architecture is comprising of set of neurons, how many neurons are there, and their connections or links to other neurons. And every connection would have a weight. This weight multiplied with the, actually it's not direct multiplication, it is sum of product of weight and the input from the previous node, from the previous layer. In this manner, it is computed for in every neuron. And then there is a learning algorithm for training artificial neural network. That learning algorithm would modify the weights in order to model a particular learning task. To learn a particular thing, for example, crop yield prediction or rainfall prediction, uh, weights are learned. They are also called as parameters. Parameters are learned, and there is a training algorithm which is back propagation training. This back propagation, this is artificial neural network. Mm, Let me show you the figures from the text. So you can see here there are inputs, there are weights, there is an adder that perform addition of the product of weights and inputs, and there is an activation function. This is a neuron diagram. There are input values x1, x2, xm, and every connection essentially in neural networks would have a weight. This is a weight W1, W2, Wn, and there is a bias. Every node would have input connections as well as bias. And here there is the output. These are the basic activation functions: step function, ramp function, sigmoid function, and Gaussian function. Sine function is used for binary classification, and when input data is continuous, uh, these three functions could be used: ramp function, sigmoid function, Gaussian function. These are the uh, formulas for step different activation functions. A is chosen if V is less than C. What is V? V is the output of this node. V is the output of this node. If the value of V is less than C, C is a particular threshold value, then it is the output is A, otherwise the output is B. Ramp function is if value if V is less than C, it is A, greater than B, otherwise the output is computed in this manner using this expression. And then this is sigmoid function. Sigmoid function is 1 over 1 plus exponent to the power, it means exponent to minus x into V plus y. These are all values that are generated when you perform mathematical operations on the data which is supplied to it, to the model. All right. Here x1, x2. Suppose if x1 is 0, x2 is 1, up to xm, some other values, that into weights. Weights are also some values that you perform multiplication, and then this node is receiving input from all the three previous nodes, x1, x2, xm. So this is x1 w1 plus x2 w2 plus xm wn is the input to this node, and also there is a bias of 1, and then the output, whatever is the output that is computed, means this is equal to v is equals to this one, and then this rectangular box denote the activation function. Activation function uh, will yield the output. Output is a if V is less than C, like that it has for every activation function. This is Gaussian function. Gaussian function expression is this one. Neural network architectures. We have different types of neural network architecture: single layer feed forward, multi-layer feed forward, and recurrent. Single layered feed forward neural networks. This one, single layer feed forward neural network. Here we have input nodes. These are output layers. These are the outputs. X1, X2. We have weights. W11, W12, this is W12. This one is W13. This is W14. And then here this is X21. This is X22. This is X23. This is X24. Weights. These are the different weights. Again, what is done here? X1 into W11 plus X two here for node 1 in the output layer. X two W21. This is equal to V. V equal to this one. And the output from here will be based on the activation function value, which is equal to A if V is less than a threshold value C. It can be, okay, it can be value defined like 0.5 or 0.6 or 0.4. Whatever threshold value has been chosen, based on that, the output is defined. Perceptron. Perceptron is a special form of single-layer feed-forward network. It was proposed by Rosenblatt in the year 1958, and it is used for binary classification. Perceptron architecture is shown here in figure 12.3. This is perceptron for binary classification. These are the inputs, weights, and the single layer. This is a single layer neuron and activation function and then output. This theta. Theta is that threshold value which I am talking about. The output is -1 if V value is less than theta, otherwise it is +1. How it works? Consider input x1, x2 and output is x1 or x2. 0, 0 is 0, 0, 1 is 1, or operation, if any one is 1 in the input combination, then the output is 1. For this is plotting of that OR function. When you This is a linearly separable data. When you draw this line, single line, it separates data points having 0 as the output and 1 as the output. This is 0, this is 1, and here also 1, and here also 1. There are 3 1 outputs. There is 1 0 output. If you draw a line between this, it can segregate between 0 and 1. This is OR graph. Like that. Okay, let us first look at learning algorithm. How does it learn? What it is learning? It is learning the weight values or the parameter values. Initially, it gives random weights in the range -0.5 to +0.5. Later, what happens is training data is presented to the perceptron and its output is observed. These are the weights. Any random value between this value is the weight. That into the training data. What is the training data? Here in this example, this x1, x2. These are the training data. And this one is the output. If output is incorrect, the weights are adjusted. Otherwise, it converges. Weight equal to weight I plus A into xi into E, where E is the error. Some error is produced. Based on the error, that error is multiplied to xi. Xi is the input. A is the learning rate. WI is the weight. The weight is updated. Learning rate can be greater than 0 and less than 1. The learning rate A may be defined as, if the output is correct, A is 0. If the output is too low, A is having some positive number. If the output is too high, A is having some negative one. I'll give you an example, an analogy. Suppose um, actual number an is equals to 21. I ask you to make a guess. Make a guess, G. You say uh, my guess is 250. If you say 250, what I can say? No, the actual number is less than 250. Like that, based on the output, this learning rate value would be defined. And if your guess is 5, I can say no, the actual number is greater than 5. Like that, you keep on changing the value of your guess. Finally, you might arrive to this one, actual. So after modification of the weights, the next training data is applied. And every iteration of this process is known as an epoch. Every guess that you make is like an epoch. Training happens for 10 epochs, 20 epochs, 100 epochs. This is the perceptron for OR function. Initialize the weights W1 to be minus 0.2 and W2 is equals to 0.4. Consider the first training example 0, 0. The expected output is 0. Here first input is 0, 0 and the first output, expected output for this 0, 0 input is 0. So initialize weights as W1 to be minus 0.2 and W2 to be 0.4. First x1 is 0, x2 is also 0. And what is the expected output? It is 0. Output y is equal to 0. Output is computed y. This is expected output, means actual output. A step function. Using a step function, W1 into x1. What is W1 into x1? 0. Plus W2 into x2. What is W2 x2? 0. Is equal to 0. So output is 0. Predicted, this is known as predicted output. Predicted output is 0 and expected output or the actual output is 0. So nothing has to be done. Then take second training data. X1 is 0, X2 is 1. And what is the actual output? It should be 1. Actual output is 1. Now here predicted P is equals to 0. W1 into X1. W1 is 0.2 into 0 is 0 plus 0.4 into 4 is equals to 0.4. So which is equal to 1. And output is 1. So this is also right. Actual is 1, predicted is also 1. Like that, this process is continued for all the training samples. How many training samples we have in this case? There are 4 training samples. For 4, this process is repeated. But what is the limitation of perceptron? Limitation is it cannot model XOR function because it is not linearly separable. You cannot divide the output into two distinct classes by drawing a simple line. Therefore, perceptron cannot be used as a general purpose model for training any kind of data. Therefore, it is extended to multi-layer feed-forward network. Multi-layer feed-forward network has got a hidden layer. There are input nodes, hidden layer, and output nodes. And there is a learning algorithm known as backpropagation and a gradient descent optimization method is leveraged in order to compute the output. Take, for example, XOR function. These are inputs x1, x2, and output, XOR output. One single line cannot segregate the output into two distinct classes. You can see in figure the graph that shows XOR function is having uh, 2 lines, but 2 lines should not be used for the separation. Mm. 2 lines, if you draw 2 lines and segregate, then that is not the linearly separable model. Therefore, it is not acceptable. If you consider only a simple perceptron model, therefore, what are we doing? We are going for multi-layer feed forward. In multi-layer feed forward, it is possible to generate a model that can uh, identify or correctly predict the XOR function. So here we have input nodes, there are hidden layers, there is an output node. Its execution is, we can see that 1, 1, -1, -1, 1, 1. These are the values. Initially 1, comma -1 and -1, comma 1. These are the weight matrices. X1 to H1, X1 to H1, and X1 to H2. So 1, 1 and uh, -1. 1 is from X1 to H1, -1 is from X1 to H2. Like this, weights are assigned, and uh, there is a bias which is -0.5. This shows the working of that multi-layer feed-forward algorithm. Inputs x1, x2, output of hidden nodes. H1, what does H1 output? X1 is 0 and X1 to H1 is 1. So 1 into 0 is 0. So this is 0. And X1 to H2 is -1. -1 X1 to here. X1 to H2 -1. X1 to H2. -1 into 0 is 0. And the output node is -5. This is 0. So this one is 0. This is correct. Output is the predicted output is um, similar to the actual output. And here also, when you solve for this, predicted output is 1, 1, 0. It means that it is able to correctly model XOR function. What is modeling? Well, multi-layer feed-forward network. And backpropagation algorithm works in two paths, forward pass and backward pass. In forward pass, it computes the output, and in the backward pass, it try to learn the parameters based on the loss. Loss is nothing but the difference between the actual output and the predicted output. Weight update rule. This is the weight update rule in multi-layer feed forward. WJI equal to WJI. WJI is this is old weight plus this is uh, delta is the learning rate. No. Uh, delta WGI, it is computing in this manner. It is expanding. This is minus eta, which is a learning rate into uh, here we use DE by DWGI. This is from calculus. By making use of this derivatives, weights are updated. There is a delta rule for error minimization. Error minimization means again let me give you an analogy. If you recall that same example, actual number is AN is 21. Guess. If you make a guess to be 80. If I tell you here weights are like how much to add or remove from this guess value. Guess value is the predicted value. Actual value is 21. If you use 10 as weight, if I tell you that actual is less than 80, then you subtract 10 from 80. Uh, if I tell you that actual number is greater than 80, then you add 10. So this, what is this 10? 10 is the weight. And if you are taking more time, then you may increase this weight from 10 to 20. If I tell that actual number is less than your guess number, you may add no, less means you may subtract 20 from the number instead of 10. So the 10, 20, those are like weights. And then you are computing the what are you computing? The predicted value and actual value. Both should be equal. If both are equal, it means what? You are able to make a right guess about the actual value. Again, another analogy. If I predict that you will score 91% this time, in this semester you will score 91%. I am making this guess. How I am making this guess? Based on some parameters. After the result come out, if you get 95%, it means actual value is 95, predicted value is 91, and there is a loss of 4%. There is a difference of 4%. Okay, that is the loss. If I tell you, you will, if I predict that you will score 98% and you actually got 95%, then what is the error? 3%. How do you compute the error? Actual minus predicted. Uh, if you subtract whatever actually you got from the predicted, then you get the loss. So you have to what you have to do, you have to improve on the loss. Now as a teacher, what I do? Okay, I made this mistake, means my loss is 3% or 4%. Next time onwards, I have to assess or consider some other parameters in order to make the loss minimal or uh, less. Hmm? If I have to do that, it is like I'm learning. So the same rule is applied to this artificial neural network system, where the system is learning. What system is learning? It is learning how to correctly make a prediction. It is all about making predictions. AI system, trying to approximate the behavior of a human by making right, uh, decisions. How can it make right decision? Because it everything operates on numbers. Everything is in numbers, in systems. Uh, so weights are numbers, input is converted to numbers, and weights are changed. Somehow your goal here is to minimize the loss or the error. You can call that loss as error. How do you minimize the error? There is one rule known as delta rule. It is also known as least mean square. The delta rule is based on the concept of continuous adjustment of weights in such a manner that the difference of error, which is denoted by delta, between actual and computed output is reduced. You need to reduce. You need to make the difference uh, very less, very small. Then you can trust the system. You can trust the AI system because it is making the uh, error very small error. What is done here? Compute the error of output to neuron K after the activation of the network of the ith training example. After training ith training example. How many training examples we saw in our examples? Four. We saw four training examples for XOR as well as for OR. And the network error is defined as the sum of squared errors of the output neurons and is calculated as uh, sum of error error e sub k for the kth output of I square, and sum of that every kth output you square and sum it. So the total mean squared error is defined as the average of the network errors of the training examples and is given by uh, I um, 1 to n e of I over n. N are the total samples, and e of I is the error that occurs at I, and it should be done for n times, n outputs. Okay, and that you have to minimize. That is, we learned about uh, perceptron, uh, single layer feed forward network with perceptron and multi-layer feed forward network. Next type of network is radial basis function network. Radial basis function network depends on the distance of the input from the given stored vector. We have a vector stored, and output depends on the distance of the input to the given stored vector. This is the output, Stored vector is the actual output, and this is the generated output or computed output. The distance between these two should be minimal, should be small. Networks that use radial basis functions as activation functions are known as radial basis functions, RBF networks. And the RBF has an input layer, a hidden layer, and an output layer. In RBF network, hidden layer uses neurons with RBFs as activation functions. Let us look at the RBF network architecture. This is RBF network architecture. There are input nodes in the input layer. This is output layer and output node. And this one hidden layer. And there are nodes in the hidden layer. Here output is generated. Radial basis functions are available in this hidden layer. And these are the weights. Here we have bias. Bias value is given to every node. Okay. Here the whole idea is creating different kind of architectures or networks having nodes. Nodes are nothing but computational units. This node means in computer you will not have like a square kind of something. It is a computational unit. This computational unit will have some equation. What is the equation? And the equation will be like for this one we saw it is like this. Here in radial basis function, this equation will change. In previous, we saw that was different. Here it is different. This radial functions is defined in this manner as a Gaussian function. Radial function is a Gaussian function. What is a Gaussian function? This x is the input minus c some center value over the sigma, which is standard deviation or variance. It depends. Here it is sigma square. You can different functions you might have. You might have just sigma, or you might have sigma square. And then this whole thing you take as exponent, like e to the power of this one. That is a Gaussian function used as a radial function, radial basis function. And radial basis function are used to construct a function approximation of this form: x minus c. What is f of x? F of x is the approximation function. Approximation function means it is generating some kind of output. And what is our goal? Goal is that output should be same as the actual output. And apparently here we are taking wi of this phi x of xi minus ci. Xi is the input, ci is some center value that when you subtract, and for different centers you get different values. In the radial basis networks, we'll have input layer, we'll have hidden layer, we'll have output layer. Estimating of the weight, using this formula, weights are estimated. And this is RBAF, means radial basis function neural network for XOR. This is almost similar to what we saw earlier, but here the computations would differ. This is the equation using which the computation is performed, and this is how the actual operation step by step is shown in this table 12.4. x1, x2, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. R1 is equals to x minus h1. You get, there are some h1 and h2 values. h1 and h2 are defined here. h1 and h2. Based on that, based on substituting the values in these equations, we generate this output, which is uh, computed from the model identical to the actual output. RBF network parameter learning. Network parameter learning uh, steps are these. Center vectors have to be defined, weights are defined, and then radial basis function, width or spread, sigma of I is computed, and then centers are chosen randomly from the training set, and then compute the spread sigma using this normalization function, and then weights are found using pseudo inverse method. What are the design issues of artificial neural network? Uh, Data, how to represent data, what should be the network topology, how to determine network weights, uh, and how to perform training and validation. These are the design issues of neural network. X value could be scaled or normalized in this manner. Topology means how many nodes, how to arrange them. Network parameters include proper initialization of weights, choosing of appropriate learning rate, training sets of examples. And here in this manner, weights are generated. And from first layer to second layer, we have to go on adding. First layer, it is just xi. From first to second, it is the whole expression because we are forwarding it from layer to layer. Applicability and application of feed-forward neural network. It can be used for classification, for function approximation, for data processing. Comparison of RBF network with FFNN. Radial basis function and feed-forward neural networks are non-linear layered feed-forward networks. These are universal approximators, means they can predict or compute any kind of function. In RBF, neuron model of the hidden neuron is different from one of the output, whereas in FFNN, the hidden and output neurons share a same common neuron model. RBF, hidden and output, it's different. FFNN, they are same. Hidden layer in RBF is non-linear and output is linear. FFNN, hidden layer and output layer, both are non-linear. This is all about neural networks. If you have any doubt, please ask. Recurrent networks, we will discuss tomorrow. Students, are you able to understand? Do you have any
Yes,
doubts?
ma'am.
Madhukar, you have any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Really, you are getting
Yes, ma'am. But I don't have any proper notes, ma'am.
notes. Oh, I have given you that all questions